My first year in the business, 2019, I finished number 4 in the state of West Virginia for Century 21. I did 36 units and just under 7 million in volume.
Listings, sales, and bigger commissions. Welcome to the Rookie Mega Agent Show. If you're looking to grow your business and increase your production, you're in the right place. I'm Spencer McDuffie, head of Rookie Mega Agents. Let's get to work. What's going on, everybody? Spencer McDuffie here. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the podcast. I can't wait to share with you guys some of this great information that we've got. Today, I've got Johnny Knight on the podcast. He is a rookie mega agent. He is killing it, young into the business. And today, he's going to share with us tons of tips and strategies, actionable tactics, meat and potatoes that you guys in the Rookie Mega audience can implement into your business so that you can start to grow your production and start to cash some commission checks. So let's get right down into it. Johnny, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing, Spencer?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. Obviously, you're crushing it in your market. So go ahead and just give us a little bit of an overview about your business and about yourself so the audience can get to know you better.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Johnny Knight. I'm a fairly new agent for Century 21 in the state of West Virginia. I actually have a background in hospitality and customer service. Prior to getting in real estate, I worked for Sprint rather, and I just kind of transitioned right into real estate. And I've been blessed, to say the least. Just like you, it's like you're killing it. But starting off as a new agent, I hit the ground running. I finished my first year in real estate. I did 36 units and just under 7 million in volume. And I did it, work my sphere of influence and just building these relationships.
Wow. So you definitely came in hot. So for a little bit of frame of reference, you got licensed just in 2019, correct?
Yes. So 2018, but it's like the first couple of months was just learning contracts and stuff. But yeah, my first full year, 2019.
Right. So we got licensed at the same time. I think I saw a comment when you got licensed. I got licensed basically September 1st, 2018. Is that right? Give or take when you did too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So we started, yeah. So that 3 months from September to December in 2018, kind of a little ramp up period and everything. So I'm right there with you on that. So before, 2018, September or early 2019, what were you doing before you got into real estate?
All right, so I was in telecommunications. I actually worked for a Sprint store, so I sold phones. And even prior to that, I was in hospitality. I'm actually not even from West Virginia, the state that I'm practicing real estate in. I'm from Harrisburg, PA, but I used to work for Hershey Entertainment Resorts in a call center, just selling spa services and hospitality.
Okay, so you were in some capacity of a sales role before you got into real estate?
Yes, sir.
Very cool. Okay, so let me right off the jump ask you a question about that right there. How do you feel like your sales background impacted you getting into real estate your first year?
Well, so honestly, I transitioned into real estate because of some conflicts I had in telecommunications. I was actually a top producer in sales when I was in phone sales. It's just that the biggest thing that my manager at that time used to always tell me is I took too long with clients. And honestly, it was one of those things where I would take long with them, but I have lines waiting out the door for me to service them. So essentially, I knew when I was transitioning to get out of that, I wanted to go into either car sales or to real estate. And naturally, when I found out that real estate was all about the building the relationships, I knew that was the spot that I needed to transition into.
Right. Yeah, something I definitely believe is that, people who do well in life, they can do well at almost anything that they do. So I would say that you're probably a testament to that there. So in your first deal, you said you did, 36 is what you said, 36 deals?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And so what volume was that?
That was just under 7 million.
Just under 7 million in volume. Okay, so did very well your first year. And so just to give the audience a perspective, like this show is all about, the ramp up, right? The grind, the hustle, like starting from the bottom. So in your first year, you had a phenomenal year. I think our first years, like you told me, they're very similar to each other. From your first year to your second year, what are you now doing in 2020? What did you finish the year out in 2020 in terms of number of deals?
So 2020, I actually did 67 units and just under 14 million. I'm still waiting for final calculations, but I'm currently looking on Century 21's website. I'm the number 3 ranked agent in the state of West Virginia.
Wow. Okay, dude, you are killing it, brother. You're killing it. So you went from 7 million to 14 million, and you doubled your business, right, in 1 year. Your first year, you had a tremendous, shoot right out of the gate, and then your second year, you doubled. What do you feel like that doubling your business so early was a testament to? How do you feel like that happened?
Honestly, just kind of focusing on building the relationships and less on the transactions. I know as a new agent, the biggest thing that I was concerned about when I first got out of the door is how much I was going to make and stuff. But once I shifted my
Right.
attention to actually building those genuine relationships and just keeping in mind the fundamentals of real estate and business in general, they say people do business that they know with people that they know, they like, and that they trust. And I always said that, hey, if I earn someone's trust, I earn the right to sell to them. So just
Right.
keeping that in mind, I just started building relationships in my community. It's crazy. Out of my production, I never paid for a lead. I never door knocked. I never cold called. I just organically just tried to be a good person, try to be a community
Right.
influencer. And all of that had led to my success.
Right. Well, we're definitely going to get more into that for sure. Because we want to know because how you did it without door knocking, how you did it without cold calling, like how you pulled that off. I have to know because I'm taking whatever strategy that you used and I'm going to be implementing it as soon as we get off the call. But for a little bit more perspective on for the audience, what was your percentage this year, let's say in 2020, of listings versus buyers?
All right. So listings, I actually, so about, I'd say maybe about 40% of my business was listings. And that's just naturally, most new agents, they don't come out the door pursuing listings. It's easier for us to work with buyers. Naturally, we can tell them, hey, we work for you for free. There's different things that we feel a little more comfortable. Whereas when you're going out and you're securing listings, a lot of times it's intimidating as a new agent because we have to go and tell them, okay, hey, this is what we feel your house is gonna be worth. This is how much you got to pay us. So
Right.
my bread and butter was working with buyers and actually technically working with renters as well.
Okay. So you worked all the different sides there. You worked the buyers, you worked the sellers. 60% buyers, 40% listings. Not a bad ratio for somebody that's just getting going in the business, and especially when you're doing 67 units. My question for you when I hear that is, how like were you burned? Were you tired? Were you worn out working with all those buyers? How'd you feel?
Honestly, I felt rejuvenated. It's like I'm hungry. So it's as a new agent, it almost became like a game just to see like, hey, how many more can I get under contract? So I just kept pushing. And honestly, this year has not even been the easiest. So if I wanted to be technical, this 2020 for everybody has been tough with COVID and everything. But
Right.
for my production this year, you would have thought that somebody in my position, I would have slowed down. I actually lost my father back in April.
Oh
So I
wow.
lost my father in April. I had a kid in August. I had my second child. And despite all of that, I just kind of use that as a driving force to me because some things are out of our control. And
Right.
I focused on what I could control.
Right. That's crazy, dude. Well, sorry to hear that, and congratulations on the new baby and everything. You said back in August.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I've got one coming up for myself, my first one. So we're gonna see how that
Right.
goes.
I hope not a
So
girl.
yeah, it is. It is
Uh-oh.
perfect, right? So, man, I want to dig straight into this. I want to get right down into the meat and potatoes, dude. Like your stats don't lie. I wanted to get all your stats on the table up front, just so people know what you're doing, where you're at. What is the trajectory of your business looking like? How old are you? How long you've been doing this, all that kind of stuff. I think you've shown that. First year doing 36 deals. 7 million bucks, second year doubling your business, 14 million doing 67 units. That is crazy. And even working with a 60% amount of buyers versus sellers, like that is grinding, dude. Like that's a lot of showings, right? so
Oh,
uh
yeah.
so I want to get straight down into the meat and potatoes, and I want to give our audience tactics that they can take away from this call right now and go use as soon as they're done. So I want to get into the lead sources and the lead gen strategies and the ways that you develop these relationships, as you say. What exactly did you do to get 67 clients this year?
Okay. All right. Well, one of the biggest things I did is I generated my own leads. As a new agent, a lot of times our biggest concern is, hey, we don't have money to dump in the Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these big lead providers. So I had to get creative with my resources that were around me. So I started making posts on social media. And I encourage any agent, even the agents that I mentor, to build your following up on social. It's like you get up to 5,000 people you can have as friends and just add people. It's like make a habit of adding people every day. And whether it's local people, agents, anybody, just add people. So ultimately what I would do is I'd make little posts on social media and I get real creative with it. The biggest issue that everybody has right now is there's no inventory. So what I would do is take something as simple as a post. I go on Facebook. For instance, one of the counties around here is Berkeley County, and the average house sells for 200,000 here. So I'd make a post on Facebook and say, hey, houses available in Berkeley County under 200,000. Contact me for a list of properties.
Right.
And then people would just message me because naturally there's no inventory. But when they would message me, it's not like I had listings, because ultimately as a new agent, I didn't really have anything to work with. But when people would inquire, now I'm going to go on the MLS. I'm doing searches and I'm finding properties that way. And then something else as a new agent, just keep in mind that all the listings that your brokerage has belongs to your broker. I don't care who actually went out and procured it. But if you are a new agent, you don't have inventory, you don't have anything to actually use as leverage to show people that you're actually actively doing business, use that to your advantage. Ask your broker for permission to actually share listings. And that's what I would do. I'd go talk to my broker, say, hey, you have this listing and this real good price point. Do you mind if I share it on social? And I'd ask the listing agent that actually got it just for permission. And I'd post it and I would just draw people in. And usually if you can get somebody to have a conversation with you, you can control it, and it's a lead.
Right, dude, that's awesome. So I want to ask a question. I know the audience is going to be thinking, because they ask me the same question all the time. When you're talking about basically running these home lists promotions, either ads or posts, or have you do, are you doing that on your personal profile? Or are you doing that on your business profile and doing it as an ad?
I'm doing it on my personal page, and I find that the business page, I don't know the algorithms yet, and I'm still learning it. But when I post stuff on my business page, I don't get that much engagement. Now, I have over 4,000 people on my business page. It's just that I don't get that reach. Whereas if I post it on my personal page, I tend to get more people that's going to inquire, more people that's going to like it, more people who will share it.
So I just did a video on this yesterday, and this is something I feel like me and you are very similar in our journey and where we're at in our current level of business. And I would definitely encourage you to take a little time to go learn about that Facebook business side of things, because dude, it is insane. Like what you're doing right now is exactly what I did using personal profile, doing posts, doing a lot of great engagement posts where people can really see that I'm branding myself. I'm showing my listings, just listed, just sold, all that stuff. But when I got on that business page and started running paid ads for like exactly what you're doing, like insert city name here, homes list, inquire with me now, lead capture directly into a CRM, right into follow-up boss, automated follow-up systems and stuff like that. I know you're in the process of implementing systems. It can get really, really crazy with what you're talking about right now. And that's kind of what I'm learning about right now. So I'm like super pumped up about it.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you.
So we'll keep in contact on that, and we can collab on that. Yeah. So you were doing the social media tactics, and you were posting, an example of a post would be like a homes list, and you were basically only using your personal profile, right?
Yes.
And you were working on growing your amount of friends in your database and everything every single day. What else were you doing on Facebook to help you to get business?
Well, I was bringing value to also local people in the community. I actually would go to local businesses, especially with COVID. A lot of businesses struggled. A lot of agents struggled. But ultimately what I would do is go to these small businesses and I bring value to them. Whether they were doing outside dining and stuff like that, I'd highlight and let people know that, hey, this business is here. I'd use my platform, and I even, once again, it's like I'm not from West Virginia. So what I would do to grow my sphere also is bring value in the sense that I'd go to a local business and I'd walk in, hey, my name is Johnny, Century 21. I like to bring value to your business. I see it's very popular. People know, like, and trust you. I would donate like money towards their business. I'd say, hey, take $50 right here, and I want you to do a giveaway. So now what they would do is they'd go on their social media and they would take and do a giveaway. I let them come up with the terms and everything on it. All I ask is simply just have the people that follow you like and share my page as part of the entry level. To get into the contest. So in them doing that, now I'm growing my sphere of influence, because they're going to take and post, hey, Johnny Knight from Century 21 just donated $50 for a free dinner or whatever the case might be. Go like and share his page for a chance to like it. So now for a chance to win it. So now what's happening is now people are gravitating to me, people are friend requesting me, people are liking my business page, and they're looking at me like I'm this saint in the community because,
Right.
hey, they wanted to go to that restaurant, but maybe they couldn't afford to go to that restaurant, but now they got a chance to win food, and people just ate it up. So that's ultimately what it's all about as a new agent. You just got to bring value.
Right.
And in bringing value, people they're going to show it back. They're going to naturally give it back.
I agree with you, man. I've done the same thing. I've been super, super heavy on Facebook from the beginning, even since before I got licensed to be an actual realtor. I was posting flip content because I knew I was going in that direction, and it was close enough, in my opinion, to at least get going. Dude, when you're videoing all the rookie mega agents out there, when you're going and you're videoing and interviewing local business owners, and you're highlighting spots to the new trendy food spot that just opened up, and you're really giving some respect to the people who are putting in that work, like those business owners think you are the coolest thing ever, right? They want to talk to you. They're like, dude, I saw that video you did. You did that for free. Like, that's how they feel. It's like you hooked them up. Like you promoted their business for free and did it in a great way. I've experienced that personally, and it's the easiest thing that you can do if you want to go and build your sphere of influence, which I think is what you're saying is you were able to grow your sphere of influence by using this tactic.
Yep. Yeah. And then, and ultimately, I know we're talking about the whole lead generation, but most of my leads come out of my sphere of influence. So I got to constantly keep building that sphere. And then just bringing value. Like even when it comes to content, I know as far as yours as well, everything that you post does not have to be about real estate. People know what we do. So it's like, we don't have to sit there and ask them, hey, use me, use me, use me. But what it happens is people, it's almost subliminal that they see that you sell real estate, but at the same time, you're a relatable, cool person that they want to get to know. So it's been very nice how it works. And just naturally, I've been training agents to actually do the same thing, and they're getting big results because it's like, it's smart and it's simple and it's basic, but it's huge. It's impactful because those relationships that you're building, not just even with your clients, but with other people in the community. Now, when it comes to real estate, you're the first person to come to mind because they're thinking of all the good deeds you did.
Right. And so are you using a lot of video in this too? I assume. I haven't really seen your social yet, but are you big on video as you do these kind of community events and things like that?
I was big on video right before COVID got real bad. I actually had a series that I was going to do called Life in the Panhandle, Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. And essentially with that, I was going to take and just use that as a platform. And I had started doing video stuff, but it kind of got kind of tough because of social discipline. Just different things were affecting me being able to go out. So what I started doing is just simply every time I go out somewhere, just take a picture. It's like, just take a picture somewhere and just highlight it that way. And then just share, or even just simply going on somebody's page and giving a review. Like people like when they're talked about. If somebody gives you a survey as an agent, you're going to share it naturally. So I just took that same concept of bringing value, talking good about businesses and just bringing them up when everything's so negative in the world. And essentially it grew my business. And then I got people that would reach out to me and saying, hey, I want to buy a house. And all they did was saw that I did a giveaway. It's just, they saw me as a source. And I always tell agents that, hey, if you want to go buy a car, you're going to go buy a car, but the salesperson wants you to use them. Same thing with the house. It's like, naturally, it's my job to get them to use me when they want to make that big purchase.
Mm-hmm. So I want to go even a little bit more deep into this, man, because I know a lot of rookie agents, they're hearing what you're saying, man, but I bet they're wondering this question. What's your daily schedule actually looking like in terms of the amount of time that you spend focusing on trying to set appointments and getting face-to-face with qualified leads?
So I have systems that I'm working on. And again, we had discussed previously, I'm still working on what mistakes I made the first years and what I can do to do better. But I have systems in place. So for instance, with those lists of people that would inquire on my ads and the people in my sphere of influence, it's very important to have a good relationship with a lender. And everybody should have a preferred lender. And with your lender, you need to make sure that you train them or educate them on how you want to practice your business. So I have people that would inquire about my rental ads. I used to run rental ads, my for sale by owner, just anything. People that would inquire, I would take that information and then I would start pre-qualifying them. I'd ask them simple questions just to kind of get down to like, what's the objection? What's the holdup? Well, like, why haven't you bought? And taking that information, like if they told me their credit was low, I'd inquire, okay, there's not a it's not an obstacle that can't be overcame. So
Right,
you
right.
said your
And
credit level.
let me interrupt you and ask you a question on this. Is this the first time that you've talked to this person typically? Or have you talked to them several times up to this conversation?
This is the first time I directly talk to them. Usually a lot of people see my information because I share in the Facebook groups and stuff like that, but it's the first time that they really engage me.
Right, right, right. And so are you hitting these people over the phone when you got their contact information, you're calling them over the phone, or is it more like DMing on Facebook?
The DMing them on Facebook.
Gotcha.
Everything, because I feel when you call somebody, sometimes that can be very intimidating.
Right.
And even like when I'm talking to somebody, the first thing I ask is not about your credit. I ask, okay, well, what interests you? It's like I start pre-qualifying them. I'm like, okay, hey, are you looking for anything specific? I just automatically assume that they're already going to be ready to go. But then as I talk to them, that's when I start seeing, okay, hey, this is what we're going to have to do. This person's ready. This person we're going to have to put on a drip campaign.
Right.
And then you kind of discern that as they come in.
Right, right. So I asked those very specific questions for a reason, because I want everybody in the audience to see that, this dude said in the beginning of the audience, the beginning of the show, that he's not, he's not making a lot of calls, and he's not door knocking a lot of doors. And this is a great example of, even if you don't do those things, typically you still do have to have direct communication with people. You got to follow up and convert somehow. Luckily, we're blessed that we can literally generate leads on Facebook, pre-qualify leads in the DMs of Facebook, and essentially create a branded marketing plan on the same platform, which is Facebook, where you can for free get back in front of this lead that you just generated. It's a massive free marketing funnel that we have available, and this guest has shown us right now that, just with Facebook, he did, 30 plus deals first year, over 60 deals, the second year, just on this one platform. Guys, the power of Facebook is insane. So if you haven't heard me say it enough, please take a word from Johnny Real Estate so that you can go get you some money out there. So any other tactics on Facebook? I know I've got a couple that that I would, throw to you if you haven't, but I'm curious, is there anything else that you can think of on the Facebook specifically that's been great for you?
I just love how Facebook and the groups and stuff, I don't have to stay on top of my content. You make a post, if somebody likes it or comments on it, it automatically refreshes up to the top. So that's something I love about it. And I don't know, just overall, just the presence and the ability of doing these things for free and organically and just
Right,
naturally, and it's not as pushy.
right,
And I just think it, as a new agent, everybody pushes like, okay, hey, you need to do a team, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it just shows, because it's like, I'm a solo agent. I don't have a transaction coordinator. I'm doing all this myself. And it just
right.
shows that you can do it. You just have to kind of put in the work.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely can do it. You definitely can do it. One of the things that I've come across, I think a lot of agents are sleeping on with Facebook, and then I'll kind of get off my Facebook rabbit hole, but I love Facebook so much because it's allowed me to do exactly what you've done, right? EXP Icon agent, second year, doubled my business, second year. My numbers look very, very close to yours. A lot of people are sleeping on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know if you're taking your listings and putting them in Facebook Marketplace and then sharing them out to like several local community groups. Dude, there are leads galore in Facebook Marketplace, almost like how Craigslist was back in the day. Have you used that at all?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do with my rentals. So what I would do, and any agent that's listening on here, I would strongly encourage you, go talk to your broker, ask them if you guys have any residential leases. I will take a residential lease. Let's say, for instance, the average rental in my area is about $1,200. I'll take one that's around $1,200 that we actually have in our office, and I'll take and post it on Marketplace. I'll take and put just a couple pictures, because I don't want to give too much information to the people that's looking at it. I want them to inquire, but I'll just put
Right,
like a couple basic pictures. I'll put information on there, and then I'll post it on social media. Now, what's going to happen is when I post in a Marketplace, naturally, and it's like anybody can try it right now while you're listening, people are going to inquire. People are going to say, hey, is this still available? They're going to send those little automatic messages that go out.
mm-hmm.
And what I would do is I'd say, yes, it is still available. If it legitimately was, I'd
Right,
say it's available. And then I would, at that point, just start qualifying. Like I said, hey, like, how's your rental history? Any pets? And then I'd say, what's your credit? And I always use what's your credit as a last resort, because naturally that's one that's going to kind of get them to kind of shy back. But then I'll let
right.
them know that, hey, these are things that a landlord's typically going to ask. So at that point, I'm going to educate them. And then after they tell me that, I say, hey, well, have you ever considered purchasing, just in case, as an additional option? But even with those ads, even though you'll get results from that, when that lease is rented, leave it up. Don't delete it. Because now what's going to happen is when people are going to inquire and message, then you just change your verbiage. My verbiage identically is, unfortunately, this is no longer available. I can search similar properties. However, have you ever considered purchasing? I actually work with a lot of first-time home buyers.
Right.
And then right there, it piques their interest. And then you start hearing objections. Oh, my credit. Oh, it's like my boyfriend's not ready, or whatever the case is. And you start hearing all the excuses, and you just literally educate them. No lie, I probably get like a 25% return on that. So it's like for every 100 leads I get in my inbox off a marketplace, about 25 people are going to be ready.
Right. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. And I don't know if you're doing this as well, but I want to clarify too, just as one more additional tactic to give the audience, in addition to doing the marketplace, something that I do is sharing that out to several groups that are then kind of attached to marketplace. So in my market, we might have something like Denison garage sale, Sherman, Texas area buy sell trade group. You can essentially syndicate, almost like the MLS syndicates to Zillow. You can essentially syndicate your marketplace listing to all these different groups, and these local groups sometimes have 25, 50,000, 75,000 people in them who are then going to see your content. And now you're growing the whole thing that we were just talking about earlier. You're growing that engagement. Now they're more likely to see your next post because of the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And you're getting tons of free leads. And what I found in the groups too, and I don't know if you've seen this as well, but what I found in the groups more so than the direct messages that come from marketplace, in the groups, we're seeing a lot more people tagging their friends, because they know their friends are in those groups. So as soon as I see that Amy Smith has tagged Becky, I'm going straight to the DMs and I'm like, yo, Becky, what's up? Are you looking for a house? Normally she'll say, yes, I am. And it's just, okay, when? And sometimes it's a year, sometimes it's a year and a half, sometimes it's 3 months. I've had people all over the place, but if you can get your listings and market those listings effectively using that tactic, there's no reason you can't be picking up at least 3 to 5 single, solid leads on every single listing that you do. Have you used that tactic at all too?
Yeah, I share it to yard sale groups all the time. And actually, I started a group of my own, and that's the key of it, because you could be the admin, you could be the moderator, because a lot of these groups, they are saturated with agents, and it's seriously to the point, because of being a community influencer and bringing value to the community, that in those groups, when somebody does post that question, hey, I'm looking for an agent, you're naturally going to get people that are going to tag you. I have people that would tag me on a post and swear up and down I'm the only agent anybody should use, and I've never even sold them a house. And that's all just based on value. So it's like literally that's what you got to do, guys.
Yeah, adding value, and AKA I think what I'm hearing you saying too is putting out content.
Yes,
cool.
Definitely keep putting out content and just be original, like be genuine. Like people know when you're faking it.
So let's flip it over, man. Let's flip it over. We focus a lot on your success. What things right now are you wishing you knew earlier? What things do you know you still need to work on that are holding you back right now that you're, wanting to maybe implement in your business in 2021?
Okay. All right. So this year in 2021, I think I'm going to start implementing more systems, and even with like a CRM. I was pretty sloppy, and I think I watched one of your videos, and you had the same struggles. It's like there was trial and error, and ultimately we made it, and we had a successful year. But we could have did so much better if we actually implemented some systems. So I think first and foremost, the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a CRM, and they say the best CRM is actually the one you use. So I'm going to.
But I don't think that's true, though. I don't. After having used some CRMs, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, well, and it's trial and error, honestly. And my biggest thing is I'm an iPhone user, so it's like right now it's easy for me to just throw people in my notes on the iPhone. It's just that I feel I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to work on doing some automation, because literally with those Facebook ads and the marketplace ads and those community group ads that I'm putting out there, it's like it's hard for you to keep up, and it gets overwhelming. And when you don't have systems in place, you tend to burn yourself out. And that's the biggest thing that you don't want to do. So I think I'm going to focus on doing that. And just ultimately, I know just like you probably didn't have somebody to hold your hand the whole time. So when you learn something, the best thing you can do is pay it forward and then mentor somebody else, teach somebody else. And that's what I do. And not only are you bringing value to those people, but also it's going to make it easier for you in your local market. I feel I train agents to do their job because it makes my job easier when I do have a contract with
Right, right, 100%. I agree with that 100%, man. It's not only a philosophy in selling a lot of homes, it's a philosophy in life. You know, there's a reason that I put out a lot of this content. One, because I want to help other people get the knowledge that I've had to work a long time to get, like 3 years now. I'm learning about these concepts. Like I can save you 3 years of time right now. But you know, also at the same time, everything always comes back. You know, so I work at EXP Realty. So if I'm getting a lot of attention and people feel like I'm really adding value to them, that's going to come back to me. They might want to join my downline. They might want to join my real estate team. They might just send me a referral. They might just send me a Christmas card. I don't know. They might not send me
Right.
anything. But ultimately, it's not a bad thing. So I want to ask you about this. So your CRMs and your systems that you're planning on using, what CRMs right now are you considering? Have you implemented any new CRMs or tested any? What are you thinking there?
Honestly, I've been connecting with a lot of people on that new Clubhouse app that I was telling
Mhm.
you about. And ultimately, I have a couple people that I'm scheduling some calls with, so I really don't know what system. So any recommendations that you have, and for the
Gotcha.
audience, I'm more than likely I'm going to inquire and look into it.
Right, right. For me, I know you just watched that video recently, and guys, if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's I think it's called the Three Regrets, something along those lines. But for me, it's just got to hit a couple criteria right now for my current level. Is it's got to be able to text in the system, email in the system with bomb integration. You know, I want to be able to call directly out of that system, and I would like to be able to have a lot of ability to link it to other systems like websites and things like that. So that because one thing for me that was totally mind blowing is the fact that like we can capture these leads and initiate a conversation without ever being involved.
Mhm.
And these systems like Follow Up Boss and these lead gen systems, you know, it just creates this big funnel where you generate the lead, it comes to your system, automatic follow up, and you can get to them, you know, as soon as you can. So
Definitely.
I definitely used some that I didn't like, but I guess what I want the audience to know the most is that what I wish I would have done in hindsight is try out as many as it took as fast as possible, because it's not like the one CRM or making that one right choice. It's like learning how important a good CRM as a whole, regardless of this actual CRM is itself. I discounted how valuable a CRM actually was because I couldn't find one that I liked. But that was stupid. I should have just found one that I liked because they're extremely valuable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it gets pricey, and honestly, they say a lot of times the systems are in place to make things easier that you don't really want to do.
Right.
And that's the thing about that's why I don't cold call. That's why I don't door knock, because those things are time consuming. But when you have systems in place, it makes everything go smoothly.
Right, right. So let's talk a little bit about your systems as far as being a solo agent. Have you had any thoughts about hiring on a transaction coordinator? Have you had any thoughts about hiring on an assistant or buyer's agent or anything like that?
Honestly, as with the success that I've had, it makes me nervous thinking about bringing someone on, only because ultimately I don't want somebody to mess up everything that I had kind of built. But I
Right,
think my thing that I'm going to start doing is with some of the agents I mentor, perhaps I'm going to start using them as showing agents. And then that way it's like I can still be hands-on with my systems, and I can actually do the communicating with my clients. But I just need somebody to open up doors for me.
right, right. I hear you on that, man. I know that was a big part for me. I haven't really got into the buyer's agent thing a whole lot yet, but I mean, having that TC, that thing is pretty nice when you because you're doing all your paperwork, contracts, and everything right now. Yeah, man, that's something I would consider for sure too if I was in your shoes, man, because it changed my life and my business explode. Your business already exploded, so I can only imagine if you get a TC and get all that paperwork off your desk, how much more time are you going to have to just spend devoted to developing good quality content and interviewing business owners, right?
Definitely.
So I got another
Yeah.
question for you, man. So one thing that I decided that I was going to implement into the YouTube podcast thing that we're doing here is a question from our subscriber. So I have a question for you from our subscriber, and I want to get your input. This is from Miss Cookie, and she commented on one of my videos 1 week ago. And she asked the following: I've heard some say that social media leads aren't as strong as other lead sources. What percentage would you say are quality leads on social media, and what is your opinion on this?
I feel that people are more inquisitive on social media, so sometimes people will just click or they'll answer. So I guess the quality of it kind of depends. I want to say out of the people that message me, I'd say maybe about 60% of them are serious about it, and the other people are just they're looking for answers. I've had people who would message me and in demand that I go show them houses, and then we go get them qualified, and they're like 400s.
Right.
On credit score. So it all depends. It's like, and that's the thing about real estate. People have to be ready, willing, and able to buy.
Right.
If any part of that equation is missing, they're not going to be quality leads. So it's a case by case, I feel.
Right.
So there's not really a true percentage of the leads. It's just how you go about doing it and how you appeal to your audience and the audience that you're trying to attract.
Right, right. No, that's a great answer, man. That's a great answer. So thank you. So hopefully, Miss Cookie, hopefully you're watching the video and hopefully you can appreciate that response. I thought it would be cool. We'll try it out. Maybe we won't keep it. Who knows? But anyway, man, so we're getting a little bit closer to kind of to the end of the show. Going to start kind of wrapping it up a little bit here. But I want people to be able to see what you're doing on Facebook. I want people to see what you're doing over on the gram and anywhere else. So can you tell us, where can we go to get more information about you, learn about your coaching programs, and just to kind of follow your journey?
Yeah, essentially, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @CallJKnight. So it's CALLJKNIGHT. And that's essentially how you can reach me on all platforms. Is all @CallJKnight. Feel free if anybody wants to reach out and have a one-on-one. I do it just because it's my way of giving back. As new agents, a lot of times we don't have that resource. We don't have that person that's going to guide us and tell us, hey, this works, that doesn't work. And ultimately, don't ever let anybody set your expectations on you as to of saying, hey, don't do this, don't ever do that. Do what you feel comfortable with, and whatever you get results. And the key is just to be consistent. But follow me on all my platforms if you want. I'm on Clubhouse, which is the new up and coming iPhone only app. That's @CallJKnight. And feel free to inbox me, my contact number too. You can find on my social media.
Okay, perfect, man. So Instagram, Call J Knight, Facebook, Call J Knight, Clubhouse, @J Knight. Is that right?
@CallJKnight.
@Call J Knight. Okay, I only messed up one, and they're all the same. Okay, perfect, man, perfect. Well, man, it's been really great to have you onto the show. I really appreciate it. I want to inspire the people as we leave, these rookie mega agents who need to go out and do. They need to dream bigger. They need to see the world bigger. They need to change their perspective. So I want to, put this on you without much notice. What is your 2021 goal?
My 2021 goal. All right, no pressure.
No pressure, man. No pressure.
I'm gonna do 80 units.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 80 units this year. As far as volume, it's hard for me to say volume because unfortunately, we don't volume. I don't measure my business by volume. I measure it by units because I feel the more that we do, just like you, Spencer, the more we do, the more experience we get as new agents. So, 80
well,
units.
if you did 60 units, we can work the math up on that. But yeah, man, 80, I'm not a math magician, man. But dude, 80 units. Right. I'm gonna try to go that way. Well, dude, so 80 units, 2021, man, that's awesome. That's inspiring for sure. And this will be your third full year in 2021, or your second, or it's your third full year, right?
Third full. Yes, sir.
Third full year doing 80 units, man. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the real estate podcast today. If you got any bit of value out of this information, which I know you did because there was some nuggets in there, be sure to comment, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Go follow Johnny on social media. Book a one-on-one call with me if you want to as well. Also with Johnny, obviously, and be sure to go check us out on social. I'm going to make sure and put in the little logos and stuff on the video. So that's all we got, guys. Go out, do something amazing. Johnny, do you have anything else left to add?
Hey, just follow what you're seeing and just try to implement it. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people, they'll listen to these things and they don't apply it. So just try to instantly implement it into your business and just go out and do it.
Right, 100%, man. I'm coaching a client right now, and the main thing that I've told her is, hey, I know I didn't give you a whole lot of information, but I don't care. I just want you to go and do. Right now, that's all that matters. I just want you to go and do things, and then let's meet again. So I agree with you guys. Please go out, take some of this knowledge that Johnny has shared, that I've shared, and go implement it into your business, because obviously it's proven to generate right now at least 67 deals a year, because I did the same as you, give or take. So good, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on to the show. Yeah, we'll catch up soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
So there you have it, folks. Mr. Johnny Knight. on the Rookie Mega Agents podcast. Over 30 deals his first year, over 60 deals his second year. In 2020, doing $14 million in real estate transactions. Guys, I want you to know the reason I'm doing this podcast for you guys is it is possible. And hopefully here on this channel, I'll give you the content, tips, and strategies to help you do the same. Thanks for watching, and be sure to click the subscribe button.